Hello, this is Monica, and today I am going to be doing a video on how to make simple cards like this, Ganesha cards like this. Since Ganesh Chathurti is around the corner, and I was making a few cards for myself because I make Ganesha cards every year like this, just for fun. And I came up with this pattern today, and I thought it would be a nice thing to just share so that kids and adults or whoever is interested could make it. I am following, you could call this the one stroke style again because it is basically doing all the strokes with the one stroke technique. And I'm using my 12 flat. If you want to add Mushika, his mouse, you could do that with a thinner brush later. But my design is just simple today. And I'll be using metallic colors. And you can see that these things are already blended in because I was working on this card. This is basically going to be the method in which I'm going to be blending. It's going to be half the brush is going to be loaded with purple, and other half will be just floating medium. So this is floating medium. It helps the paint kind of move around, especially if you want this transparent, translucent effect. I am using colors like this, where I'm using color shift to pink and purple color shift, and then I have two metallic colors. One is royal gold and one is blue topaz. Okay, so that is the colors and the brushes I'm using, and let's start off. Okay, so I'm just loading my brush with medium, and then I'm picking the pink up in my brush. Okay, I'm starting a new blending spot because this has purple in it, and I don't want the main head to have any purple in it. So I am taking pink and slightly above the halfway mark, somewhere slightly above, somewhere here, we're going to go and make a shape like that. See the movement of my hand. Okay, so it's going to be like a sleeping three shape, like that. If you're running out of paint, it means that you need a little bit more medium and paint in your brush. So most of my strokes, you will see I'll be going over it one more time because I like my strokes to be rich in color, and going two rounds with color always makes it look richer. All right, so now I'm going to make the trunk. See the movement of my hand from the left side. I'm going to go in, push, and come around and turn. So that's a symbolic representation of his trunk. As I said, we're going to go again. Okay, I did get a pretty good coverage, but I like it a little darker, so I'm going to just go in and put my seconds. It'll also give you the view of how I did it again. Okay, so that's the it's almost like an S. All right, then I start dipping my brush in a little bit of the purple because I want the ears to have a slightly different color, just for interest. Okay, slightly different color, and I absolutely love these color shift paints. They give a very beautiful metallic iridescent color. And I'm going bump, bump, and turn in. So this to give you the shape of the ear again. So I'm going back once more. You can watch me do it. I'm going up, and while coming down, I'm just squiggling the brush a little bit, and then getting up onto the chisel edge with a turn. This may be probably your trickiest stroke. Okay, apart from this, there's nothing else that tricky on the Ganesha. Okay, that's the ears, right? And now we go do the ears on the other side too. I'm turning it around so you can see. I'm going up, and then we're going to come squiggle, squiggle, turn in. So that gives a little bit of a movement to the ears, just like Ganesha's ears, because he has elephant ears. So we're going to have a little bit of movement in the ears. Okay, so that's the ears, right? Now for the belly. Okay, so we're going to take a lot of paint in medium now because the belly is a bigger stroke, and the chances are you're going to have to go multiple times on that also. So we're going to make it like an incomplete circle. You don't want to make a full circle. Okay, that's difficult to do and difficult to stay in proportion. So you're just going to keep it simple. Which I just like putting in a shape like that. kind of gives you the indication of his belly, but at the same time you don't have to worry too much about, you know, the proportions and all, because it is a incomplete thing, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then go up. So that's it. All right. You do want to go and give him a belly button there. So you're going to go slightly higher up and give him a little bit of a belly button there. Okay. And then, since I'm going to be using the same color for his hands, I am just wiping off my brush so I can, you know, load fresh and take very little of the purple because you don't want it too dark. uh, and we're going to make hands here. Okay, so the four fingers are going to be straight inverted U's. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one's going to be slightly smaller again. Okay, so those are the four fingers. And then we're going to go and give a little bit of a bump there, right? And so now you can see that that's his hand already. So you can just go and give another one at the bottom. You can give this bump, but just make a semicircle, and that's fine too. And so that's the end of his hands. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start loading my brush. You could take uh, a little bit of purple in your brush, or just go with pure blue. Whatever you feel like doing is fine. Okay, if you want the whole thing to be tied in and the colors to be more coordinated, you could put in some purple in the blue like I'm doing now, just, or you could just do pure blue. Okay, so this is his dhoti, so we're doing it in a slightly different shade, right? And taking paint, chances are I'm going to run out of paint, so I'm going to be taking this multiple times, but I'm going to go out, push, it's really dry, I'm going to come back again, and then lift up and turn. Okay, so I'm doing that turn. I need a little more medium in my plate, so I'm going to pour out a little more medium. Okay, I'm going to dip my brush in medium and a lot more blue again. Okay, and let's do that again. Okay, to do that again because it's dry edges, and I don't like dry edges in my work at all. So I like smooth edges. Yeah, I like that. I like smooth edges. I don't like dry edges at all. And I'll give you another pointer. When you're doing long strokes like this, you could change to a thicker brush or a bigger brush, which is easier to do. Or you could also paint the other way around like this. You start from here and put a little more pressure and go around. Right. So that's another option you can do to get the Ganesha's legs. So that's it. You have a pretty decent looking leg there. Okay. Now that you have it, you can go once more just to kind of even everything out. All right. Now for the other leg, this time I'm going to make sure I have more medium in my brush so I don't struggle like I did with this, the first one. And then I'm going to start somewhere here, right next to the hands. Go up, and this time come around a little earlier so that he looks like he's crisscross applesauce, basically, right? So that's the whole idea. I have a huge blob of medium there, so I'm just pulling it off. Okay. But yes. All right. So that's exactly the way I wanted it. Now for the bowl. Okay, the bowl, I am going to make it gold, and I'm also going to make his crown gold. Okay, so the bowl is just going to be a crescent shape. I'm going to pick gold on one side of my brush. Okay, the bowl is very, very simple. And then see, I'm going to start here. Push and left. I'm doing this really, really slowly. So if you want, you can paint along with me. Once you watch this one time, you can actually just paint along with me. I'm doing it really, really slow. Okay, so that is your bowl, and And now for the crown. So this crown, I'm keeping it really simple again. I'm starting from the top, see, of the head where the bumps are starting, and then I'm going to go push. It's round and lift. Now I did run out of paint, so I'm going to do that again. So basically, pivoting almost like a compass so that you get a semicircle shape. Moving the brushes a little bit. Okay, you don't have to complete the whole thing, because the problem with completing the entire stroke is sometimes it's difficult to stay in proportion, and then you will be upset that it's not looking proportionate. So that's the second one, and the third one is just one small semblance of the top thing coming in there, and that's it. So this is your Ganesha and it's done. You could go ahead and put Mushika in if you want, but since I am keeping this simple for kids, I'm not going to add Mushika because it kind of gets a little too complex then. But adults can definitely go in and put in Mushika if they want. And then you can just sign your name and you're all done. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will try making it, and I wish you and your family a very, very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. And may his blessings be with you and your family. All right. Bye bye.